Okay, so now how we are in the final segment of the podcast. I call it Beneath the Accent. I'm going to ask a couple of questions. You can answer them in one word or a sentence or however you feel like. The idea is just to know more about you. So, ready?
Yep.
So, the question that you asked me, so what advice would you give to your younger self and at what age?
I would go back to when I was just out of the bachelor,
Mhm.
and I would go back and say, do your proper research. That's what I would say.
What's that one dish from your home country that always brings you comfort and nostalgia?
So as a Mexican, I have to say tacos, but there's so many different kind of tacos. But there's one in particular, one dish that is mole. I love mole, man. It's really good. Which
Mm.
it could be kind of similar to curry actually, but the base of the mole is chocolate.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
So what is in it?
it's not a sweet dish, even though it has chocolate.
Okay.
It's actually spicy, a
Okay.
little bit spicy. It's chocolate and different kinds of chile, and so many different spices go into it. And then you make kind of like a sauce or a curry with it, and you put it over usually chicken and rice, and that's it. But it's amazing. It's amazing.
Okay.
Yeah.
I hope it's readily available in Canada. I would love to try it. Kind of sounds interesting.
Yeah, of course. If I find a place near you that they sell mole, I'm gonna let you know.
Yeah, please do. Yeah. Great. Right. What's your favorite cultural festival or celebration in Canada? And have you started celebrating anything?
That's a good question. I think here in Vancouver, there's a celebration they do, which is called Honda Celebration of Life. I don't know if it's cultural or not, but it's something really Vancouverite, which is a fireworks competition, international fireworks competition. So every year they invite 3 different countries to participate in this competition. And they do half an hour continuously non-stop show of fireworks that they need to synchronize with music. And that event for me, it's amazing because there's so many people that go to see that event. It's like 500,000 people gather in the beach to go see that event.
Oh, wow.
And usually that event celebrates each of the countries' culture that they invite, because they have invited India, Korea, Japan, Mexico, and they usually play music from their own country to also celebrate. So I know it's a really interesting and fun event to go and watch.
Yeah, sounds very, very fun. I wish I could be able to witness that sometime this year, maybe.
It's amazing, yes.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. Tell us about your first friend that you made in Canada.
First friend that I made in Canada. So, I would say that's a Brazilian classmate that I had. Because I came in with my best friend. So for me, I had already a friend in Canada, right?
Of course, yeah.
But someone that I met here was this friend from Brazil that we met in our school. We're really close friends, really good. She's really funny, and then there's so many similarities in Mexican and Brazilian culture, of course, because we are Latinos. So we are loud and we are usually extrovert and that kind of stuff. So it was really nice to see somebody else that I could feel related to, even though we were from different countries, right?
Okay. And you are still in contact, you said, right?
Yeah, of course. And for me, she's kind of like a mentor also, because she already had a lot of experience in marketing, and I was just quite new. I was a baby, but she has already been working in marketing for a while. So every question I had in the program, I would go and look at her like, "Hey, can you help me with this?" And then she would help me out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Amazing. And I'm not sure if you have any Punjabi friends, but being loud and extrovert is not limited to Latinos. We are very loud and extrovert as well, if you don't know.
No, I the school that I went to, most of the students were Latin American, so Colombian, Mexican, Brazilian, and we had a couple of people that I don't know how they ended up there, but somebody from Kenya, somebody from Indonesia, but we didn't have any Indian at that time in that school. So if it's not on school, it was really hard for me to meet people from other countries, So no, I had never had the pleasure to hang out with Punjabi friends. Now I know more people because I've been working in the industry, but back in the day when I was a student, it was not the case. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Well, now you've added me to the list.
Yeah, of course, my friend. And I can see
Yeah,
quite a lot of similarities between Latinos and Punjabi.
absolutely. Yeah. I mean, whole my student life, I have just hung out with Latinos, literally.
Really?
I've gone to like their parties, in their food and everything. But surprisingly, none of them introduced me to mole. I don't know why.
Ooh, no, bad Latino
Yeah,
friends. Bad Latino friends.
none of them. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Um, Tell me what's something that you ate for the first time in Canada?
Something that I ate for the first time. There's many things that I ate in Canada for the first time. Because one of the things I like about here is that it's so multicultural that you get to try things, right?
Yeah.
So I tried Lebanese food for the first time here, which was quite good.
Hmm.
Mediterranean food also really,
Hmm.
really good. Um, Different dishes from India that I have tried here for the first time. Because of course in Mexico we have Indian food, but it's our own version of it, so I don't know if it counts. So here is
Yeah.
more authentic, I would say.
Hmm. Hmm.
Canadian dishes, there's not that many. So of course for the first time ever, I tried
Hmm.
poutine here. Beaver tails, but that's about it. Yeah,
Okay. And did you like it? Like poutine? Did you like poutine?
it's okay. It's not that special to be honest. Yeah,
Okay. I get that response. That's why I asked you. I get that
yeah,
response a lot.
it's just okay, man. There's actually no culinary culture in Canada.
Unfortunately, no. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay. If you had to describe yourself as any creature, what would it be and why?
any creature. Um, I think I would say a wolf. A wolf.
Okay.
The reason why is because I do understand that it's quite common for them in their social behavior to know when they need to go in a pack and know when they need to move and shift for a while to be alone, but
Hmm.
they can
Okay.
come back if needed, right? So I would say, yeah,
If you could have one superpower, what would it be?
one superpower. I think that would be teleportation. No question, no question. So I
Hmm.
would go back to my family, eat some mole, come back to my work, something like that. Go visit different countries.
Okay. If you had to create this one law that everybody has to follow, what would it be?
One law, uh, Taco Tuesday. Taco
Okay.
Tuesday. No. I'm
That would
joking.
be fun.
I'm joking. Yeah, it would be nice, but I'm joking. I think something I would do for one law in Canada is that I would make it mandatory for recruiters or companies to know about immigration for them to be able to operate, because it's so
Yeah.
basic for companies to need to hire immigrants. We are 50% of the workforce or more in Canada, right? And companies still don't know about immigration and laws, and it's infuriating.
Yeah. I agree. Yeah. I would create another law which would be like 5 weeks of vacation for immigrants rather than just 2 weeks, you
That
know?
would be amazing too. That would be quite good. Yes.
Yeah, because it's not limited for us to just do the local things. We sometimes we want to like travel back and we cannot because 1 week is not enough. Like 2 weeks not enough when you're
Okay.
traveling like 7 seas apart after like 22-hour flight, you know? That's why.
That would be good. That would be good. Or at least for you to be able to
Yeah.
work up to 1 month remotely if you're going to your home country or
Yeah.
something like that. I don't know, but
Mhm.
that would be really nice. I would vote for you if you were to run for prime minister.
All right. Thank you for that. Um, and how would you describe Canada in one word or a sentence?
Oof, that's a tough one. I would say challenging. I would say challenging
Hmm.
because, again, coming from a third world country to a first world country, challenge is not something that you think you're going to encounter. But Canada is definitely challenging you all the time, man.
Hmm.
All the time. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So, lastly, if you could leave me with one piece of advice, Javier, what would it be?
Leave you with one piece of advice. I think we were talking a lot about imposter syndrome. And I
Yeah.
think that would be that not everything that goes through your head, it's true, right? We usually, whatever thoughts come to our head, we usually treat them as if they were true or if they were real. But we need to understand that many of them, they are simply not true. So we need to be able to tell apart between something that is useful for us and could help us drive forward, and things that are there just to mess our heads. So we need to be self-conscious, like whenever one of these thoughts come, like, hey, maybe you are not enough. It's like, no. This thing you're saying is not true. Don't listen to that. So
Hmm.
yeah.
Wow, that's deep. Thank you for sharing that. I feel like I needed to hear that somehow. So thank you for that.
Yeah, of
Yeah.
course, my friend. Yeah.
Okay. And lastly, how would you describe your experience of being on this podcast today?
Loved it. I there's incredible podcast. You go from some really fun stuff, deep stuff, nostalgic, because you start asking about people's background. So I think it's
Yeah.
quite a holistic experience. And I can't wait to hear more and more stories of people that you bring into the podcast, my friend.
Awesome. Very glad to hear that. So thank you. Thank you so much, Javier, for being on the podcast and adding value to my listeners. Thank you.
No, on the contrary, my friend, thank you for inviting me and of providing information to people like us that might need it and that might need inspiration or resources for them to move forward. So thank you for what you're doing.